Is Chapter 6 of the 2010 Constitution on matters leadership and integrity a dead letter in Kenya's setup? Well, that forms the basis of our conversation today on Siasa Brigade, yet another informative and insightful political show that touches on matters resource governance and generally decisions that are being made in the political landscape by the leaders who are chosen into power by none other than the Kenyans and taxpayers at large. My name is Richard Mwenje. Such a pleasure to have you on board on this exciting edition of Siasa Brigade. With me is none other than Vihiga's biggest export, Herman Manyora. After Musalia Mudavadi, right?
Richard. Yeah, how are you?
I'm quite well. How about you?
I'm okay.
You're looking good?
Thank you.
All right, sir. We are talking matters today, leadership and integrity, as it was enshrined in the 2010 Constitution. Very recently, if you are looking at matters leadership, we've seen Ruto select his cabinet, which was actually vetted and given an order of approval by Parliament. Therein has come accusations from every corner. John Mbadi coming forward and saying that was not an executive that will serve the people. That is just the 2027 campaign managers they are in. Do you share the same thoughts with John Mbadi?
Well, he has a point. He has a point because I was listening to the newly elected and appointed British Prime Minister. And he said something which Kenyans should be saying, actually. He said, we are living under depressingly hard time. That would mean once you are aware of the times we are in, you then know the kind of people to look for. So when I look at the kind of people Ruto has given himself, then I think he doesn't understand the times he's operating under or in.
But as a renowned public scholar, are you trying to discredit the credibility of the House committee that was actually set up, full of think tanks to do that undertaking?
There is no House committee, there's no parliament. I mean,
that is the voice of the Mwananchi.
that parliament, I say it's not parliament because those sort of people cannot even be, they will just be dismissed in the first sitting. They will just tell the president, please, can you give us a cabinet? It's not a cabinet.
But among
Why did they even vote for somebody like Mudavadi? For what were they voting him? So there's no voting, there's no parliament. These are just jokers.
But these then were the finest among a pool in over hundreds that were there in the list of Ruto. That was narrowed down to at least 22.
I'm telling you, there's no problem. This is Ruto's cabinet. It is our cabinet as Kenyans. We hope to get the best from them. Because if Ruto succeeds, we all succeed. It's good for us. But I have my reservations and my doubts.
I see.
Because I'm only looking at the times we are living in. I'm looking at the challenges. I'm looking at the political challenges we face in this country. I'm looking at the economic challenges we face. And I'm saying, well, these may be very good people. And I've said some of them are even my friends. They're very good people. But are they up to the task? Can they help the president
That is the
navigate through these hard times? Many people doubt. But we could be proved wrong.
The position of the chief administrative secretary and the principal secretaries are yet to be filled. Even the names of the shortlisted yet to be made out to the public. Are you seeing a likelihood of what was there in the list of 22 CS, the list of the CSS, going to be replicated when it comes to appointments of the PS and the CAS?
You don't expect anything different now. That's the trend has been set. It's like the president doesn't seem to understand the gravity of the matter. He doesn't understand the seriousness of the situation. So then he will give you this kind of people he has given you. You don't expect anything different when he makes further appointments.
I see.
Yeah.
We've seen Governor Orengo of Siaya County has appointed the government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna to be the chief of staff in Siaya. It is the same case that has been occasioned whereby state officers are given other positions in government, devolved governments, in national government they are in. The question is, until when will Kenya recycle leaders? Do you support the argument of as long as someone is up to the task, they can be there for whatever period, like Musalia Mudavadi, always been there in government, Najib Balala?
I have no problem with how long you serve. No. As long as you're competent. Kenya is looking for competent leaders. Not how old they are, not how many times they have served. No. That is not a consideration.
But then again, there is the question of giving room for the young people, for the new lease of life for young
The
youth
sort of
leaders.
people we are talking about are leaders. Okay? and they're just a handful. So you can't say they are taking jobs. If you look at leadership as a job, then you have lost it. Like I see Kenyans looking even at the presidency and looking at it as a job.
It's more than that?
It's not a job. So the ministers are not just... A cabinet position is not a job. It's a leadership position. And there are just few of them. Secondly, who stops the young men from becoming leaders?
I've seen them.
If the search is thorough enough, as indeed it should be, then we will have the best the country will produce. That best will go beyond the tribe, beyond age, beyond the political
affiliations.
It will be the best Kenya has. And age will not be a factor. Tribe will not be a political party will not be a factor.
I see.
We just set ourselves to get the best we can have. That is you see the things I'm saying now, people are going to see them. But by the time you see them, so much will have happened. A lot of mess will have happened. By the time we get to realize, no country can move without leadership, we will have gone through a lot of trouble, wasted a lot of time. Generations will have been wasted. But finally you'll come where I'm saying that no country can move without leadership.
I see.
And that leadership had better be leadership. And there can never be leadership with integrity issues. People of dubious character cannot be leaders.
In thriving democracies, we've seen the civil society play an important role, a critical role in actually checking integrity and leadership issues of people in the public service.
Yes.
In Kenya, if you look at the case of those in active political activism and activism in general, the likes of Jerotich Sei and Boniface Mwangi, we've seen people come on board and have narrations that at times these activists who probably look or portray them as those who have the best interest of the country, they're at times going to bed with government. Does it really happen in Kenya?
It happens everywhere. You can be a very strong, focused person, but there are many temptations. People have their breaking points. You get it? Everybody has their breaking point. And they say almost every man has a price. So, when it comes to fighting for rights of human beings, history has told us it can't be everybody.
Select few?
It's just a few people who can stand when everybody has gone down, because there's always a price to pay. And not many people are prepared to pay the price. And many people don't even have the makeup. Many people easily scare. We were in school. We were in colleges. You plan something with people. Finally, you look back, you're alone. Now, when you are alone, unadenguliwa na principal, you are suspended or expelled because you are alone. Everybody else has. So these things happen. So
I see.
Do not expect. Look at the second liberation. The heroes of the second liberation, mainly the young thugs. A whole lot of them were compromised. Why? They were in their 40s and 50s and 30s, mainly 40s. By the time they are getting into their 50s and smelling 60s there, they see the sunset, they see the horizon, and they see their friends enjoying life, driving good cars, living in neighborhoods, good leafy suburbs. And quickly you see them also driving a Mercedes. You see them putting up a house in Karen. So it's not for everybody. These things have never been done by everybody.
Just to sample a few of them, say now the case of Jerotich Sei and Boniface Mwangi, for them to match the bar that was set by the likes of Pio Gamapinto and Tom Mboya, would you say it will take rocket science for them to achieve such heights?
It's just difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy. You've seen this lady has now gone to bed with the government.
Yes. Looking for the senatorial bid, Elgeyo Marakwet.
It is normal. I'm not surprised. I've been through it myself. When you read my book, you see what I'm talking about. People don't just see me here. They don't know my background. I've been through it. I've suffered. I've been alone. And I know what it means to say no to authority. I know what it means.
Has someone ever extended a brown envelope to you?
And I know the cost. And I know the temptations. That's why I'm telling you, as a matter of fact. Not many people can pass the test. So don't blame them.
Then again, opposition has a role to check into integrity issues of public servant and if leadership is actually checked in the right spots so that it doesn't go to the excesses of it they're in. When President Ruto said he really wants Kenya to have a robust opposition, then a few weeks in later, he says he had extended an olive branch to Kalonzo Musyoka so that he joins his government. Don't you think he's speaking from both ends of his mouth?
No, what the president is doing is just politics, and which is normal. You know, he would want to have a share with the Okambani region. The president is already looking at the next election.
How about the robust democracy?
Nobody is interested in democracy. Who is interested in democracy?
Even a sitting president?
How? If he's not interested in democracy, he's interested in power. And there's nothing wrong with that. If Kenyans wanted somebody who is interested in democracy with a track record, then Raila would have gotten 90% of the votes.
Then when will the Mandela moment come for Kenya?
That's up to the country to decide, not for me. Because you make choices, and the choices have consequences. Nobody was interested in democracy in this election. If you are interested in democracy, there would have been no comparison between Raila and Ruto. Ruto is a very good man.
Democracy was the
and he can make a good leader. And this country can succeed. But if democracy was the measure, then where was the comparison? Who would have contested against Raila? Nobody. Because he has a track record. He has shown.
I see.
He's a man who lives for democracy, good governance, and human rights. He stands for all those. He's fought for them, suffered for them. He persists in the pursuit of the same. So it's not always that everybody wants democracy, but power. Power is what everybody wants.
Now that
what to do with the power is another story. A few people want power to change society. A majority just want power for the sake of power.
And that's it?
That's it.
Very lastly, sir, before we literally wind up, we have seen a number of Kenyans. They get these state appointments and years into office just so that they grow their leadership skills and integrity. We've seen them undertake so many of benchmarking trips, conferences, seminars, you name it, all those presentations by people who are called governance experts they are in. Is that actually the right conduit to follow when it comes to beefing up and sprucing our leadership skills?
You know, you must train people, you must expose people. But the idea is we use these opportunities to make money, to reward friends. But if it's just that we need to build capacity, yes, we need to build capacity. And there are various approaches to building capacity. However, we must also add, the times have changed so much. The days when you had to go to UK, to Israel, to benchmark, to learn are over. The world has become so small, there's nothing you can't learn when you are in Kenya here. Nothing. There's nothing you can't learn when you are here. So those benchmarking trips, those foreign trips, all those are for making money.
I'm trying to signal Kenya School of Government is enough resource to beef up.
It is resourced well. And the experts in this country, who are international experts. There's nothing you can do. What are you going to learn in Israel?
I see.
That University of Nairobi doesn't know. What is it? What is it you can learn in Israel? On anything that we cannot tell you here. In any case, the things that people go and do are not that difficult. They are not in the realm of science, where you say these procedures in medicine, we have to send a few of our doctors to California. Chicago. It is about cheap, simple, everyday things.
That doesn't need you to go to India.
No. That's your country.
All right, that point by Herman Manyora takes us to the wrap of this conversation. Talking matters, leadership and integrity as it was enshrined in Chapter 6 of the 2010 Constitution. We've looked into that subject. We continue to roll out other discussions around that particular subject in our subsequent editions of Siasa Brigade. Until next time, my name is Richard Mwenjem. Truly honored.